In today's video, I'm going to go through the process of packing your bike in a bike box and all the essential steps you need to know before flying with your bike. To help me show this, I'm teaming up with my friend Jackson, who has flown with his bike hundreds of times and has a lot of experience to share.
Hey guys, my name's Jackson Laundry. I'm a professional long course triathlete. Today I'm gonna be packing up my road bike for a 10-day training camp in Mexico, and I'm gonna be taking you through the process of doing that.
Jackson is using an Evox soft-sided case, which has an internal frame to mount the bike and also has a widened area so the handlebars do not have to be disassembled. This case also has slots for reinforcement bars that slide both vertically and horizontally within the case for extra protection. Not all cases will have these features, but the packing principles are very similar between all case styles. The process starts by opening up the case and removing all of the packing materials. We removed the internal frame and the wheel bags and then gave ourselves some space to work. The first thing you'll need to do is remove the pedals. We're using a 6mm hex key to loosen the pedals from behind, and it's worth noting that the non-drive side pedal has reverse thread. Some bikes may require a pedal wrench or an 8mm hex key to remove the pedals. Next, we need to remove the seat, and it's important to mark the seat height before removing the post. Use tape or a marker to indicate the height, then loosen the seat post bolt and carefully pull up the seat to remove it. Then we can remove the wheels from the frame. If you're working on the ground, carefully lean up your bike when the wheels are off so it doesn't fall over. The pressure in the tires will need to be reduced for flight since the extra pressure can cause fully inflated tires to explode. Remove 50 to 75% of the air, but leave in enough to maintain the shape of the tire. And here's an extra tip from Jackson on how to protect your wheels. He cut out some cardboard and foam to pad his wheel bags to protect the wheels from side impacts, which he's found helpful for traveling with carbon wheels. The wheel gets sandwiched in between the padding and then zipped up in the bag. Repeat these steps for the rear wheel, but now since the bike is unsupported, either carefully lean the frame or lay it down on its side so it doesn't fall over. Then pack the rear wheel inside the second wheel bag. The bike can now be secured to the internal frame, which is going to help prevent the bike from moving around during travel. The through axles secure the bike to the frame, but if you have quick release skewers, just make sure you're using the correct adapter. And if your bike bag doesn't have an internal frame, it's worth installing a special spacer between the fork legs to prevent crush and potential damage. Since this bike has disc brakes, spacers need to be placed inside the calipers to prevent the pads getting stuck together during travel. This bike also has SRAM wireless gears, so the batteries are removed to prevent accidental shifts or battery drain during flight. Next, remove the rear derailleur, which helps prevent damage to the derailleur hanger during travel, and will ensure your gears stay aligned on arrival. Apply padding to the derailleur and secure it to the frame or internal structure of the case so it doesn't move around. The bike is now ready to go in the case. If you did want to add any additional padding to the frame to prevent scratching, bubble wrap, pool noodles, or foam wrap are all popular options. And if your bike does require the removal of the handlebars, I typically remove the stem, wrap the stem and handlebar with foam, and secure them against the side of the frame. All of the small pieces you've taken off and any tools you need should be put in a zip bag or a zip compartment inside the case and secured. Our next step for this case is to use the internal straps to further secure the bike and prevent movement during travel. This case has straps that go over the bike and then secure it down. Jackson also realized at this point he'd need to keep his seat in to allow the rearward strap to be secure, but most cases will require the full removal of the seat post. Finally, the wheels can be slotted in on either side of the frame and the case can be zipped up. Double check to make sure you have all the parts inside the case and your bike is packed. There are a couple more things to think about while traveling, and Jackson added some extra thoughts here to wrap up this video.
All right, so that's the end of the bike packing. Now, there definitely are a few more things you might want to consider when you're traveling with your bike. What's the weight limit for your airline for packing your bike? A lot of airlines, it's around that 50 pounds. Weigh your bike ahead of time. And then if you do have extra room in the weight, you can put your helmet, your shoes, a few other things in there. And also send a little prayer off with your bike that it doesn't get damaged. Good luck with your bike packing and happy travels.